Hello, everyone. On this Sunday, 5th May 2024, I am Madam Anireju Erewa. Whatever time you are right now, I greet and welcome you to my channel, Anireju News. Please like, share, and subscribe.
Mete wa Biafra de no. Mete wa Biafra de no. Asina heri jigumegi. Mete wa Biafra de no. Akane hiora dule o. Mete wa Biafra de no. Mete re mondigala.
May is a very important historic Biafra month. Yes, May, this month of May, is very historic Biafra month. Every Biafran person should know the significance of the month of May in Biafra history. As you now know, history is very important. It's the documentation, the occurrence of events that happened. May is very important in Biafra history. The world must know how badly the British government and the Fulanis used their close friendship relationship to wrong and offend us, Biafrans. We must tell it on the mountain, over the hills, and everywhere that it is because of Biafra resources that the British and Fulani entered an evil close partnership relationship to destroy Biafra, to bring disadvantage to Biafra because of their close friendship relationship that they have had long before Lugard, as you now know, is no longer a secret. Everybody now know that Lugard brought a business from Britain called Royal Niger Company. He brought it to West Africa, and then this Royal Niger Company, he turned it to Nigeria. So Nigeria is the birth, is embedded in the friendship of this close friendship of Britain and Fulani to destroy us, Biafra. So, in other words, it's a covenant. British Fulani, it's a covenant. That's what Nigeria is. And Biafra resources does not belong to British. It does not belong to Fulani. And this covenant that they entered, called Nigeria, which is a friendship, they brought it to destroy Biafra, to the disadvantage of Biafra. Yes. One Nigerianist, how does it sound to you? How does it sound to you that Frederick Lugard, an alcoholic British mercenary, he was born in India, you know. That's his birthplace. Go look at his history. He was born in India. Used his Royal Niger Company business that he brought to West Africa. It became the Nigeria because of Biafra resources. How does it sound to you, one Nigerianist? It's a question that you will need to think about. Yes, you will need to think about. For an evil mission purpose to benefit the British and the Fulani, to the disadvantage of the Biafran people, to keep Biafra in perpetual poverty at the expense of the British loyalty, friendship with and to the northern emirs in the north. How does it sound? How does it sound to you, one Nigerianist? I ask. It couldn't have been a coincidence that these two strangers hate and despise Biafra so deeply as to cause the genocide war that the British fought for Gowon, the genocide war. Now know how Gowon breached the Aburi Accord, that him and Ojukwu entered in Ghana, that was witnessed by African leaders, African heads of states. And right after that, the British told Gowon to breach the Aburi Accord. And they promised Gowon they will fight the war. It's the friendship. This close friendship, British value it. Than your life. One Nigerianist, you need to think very deeply. Think very deeply. Yes. It couldn't have been a coincidence. One Nigerianist, do you not care to know how the British and the Fulani made the world to look down on Nigerians? Do you not care to know? It's very degrading. Very degrading. And you know what's so painful about this whole Nigeria thing? Nigeria. One Nigerianist. It is not the Fulanese that is being degraded, because, as you know, they entered a secret, evil secret, and they used their friendship to concoct and fake the Nigerian. So the Fulanis are not affected by it. It is Biafrans. You know, they brought three different sections in this part that have nothing in common. The Yorubas have nothing in common with Biafrans. Biafrans have nothing in common with the Northerners, but they brought them together. So, who suffered this whole situation is Biafrans. Biafrans are the ones suffering it. Do you not care to know that this degrading that is happening to Nigerians is Biafrans? The British people and the world know who are Biafrans by the way we talk. If a Northerner talk, they know. They know the way we dress. The world knows the way we dress. They know the Yoruba, the way they dress. So they are able to, immediately know who we are. Do you not care to know that this degrading of Biafrans is not the Fulanis or the Yorubas, it's Biafrans who are suffering? Yes, Biafrans are the ones that are suffering. Yes, and you should know. It's painful that us Biafrans are suffering the friendship of Fulani and the British that they called Nigeria. All right. I have photos of Frederick Lugard, who faked out the fraudulent Nigeria, and the Flora Shaw, who gave the name Nigeria, to show you. And let's say it. That is Frederick Lugard. That's the photo of Frederick Lugard, the British mercenary soldier, and Flora Shaw, the British journalist. They later got married. They never had children. Their only legacy that they left, they are both dead and gone. Their only legacy that they left is the Fulani Islamic Nigeria. And you choose to live the standard of life that they set for you in a first mega what they call it, amalgamation marriage, that Biafrans never agreed to. Go do your research. Biafrans never agreed to it. And because Biafrans stood and said they don't want, they knew. What did they do? The British connived. They came and said, oh, this agreement, it will last. That was in 1914. It will last 100 years. After that, everybody can go their separate ways. Because at that time, they thought the resources would have, would have been used up. That's what they thought. But God bless Biafrans with these resources. So they thought that in 100 years, that would be it. And they said, everybody, that was a condition they gave. And the 100 years ended in 2014. Could you imagine? New Year, January 1, 1914 is when they entered this agreement that they made it. They came up with this amalgamation. January 1, people are celebrating New Year. they said they are creating an amalgamation measure. And it expired January 1, 2014. That's when it expired. Frederick Lugard, Flora Shaw, no children, nothing. Their only legacy, they don't even have legacy in Britain, where Flora Shaw was born. In India, where Frederick Lugard was born, no legacy, nothing. The only legacy is Nigeria. And you one Nigerianist, a British man, both of them are British. You are holding on to the legacy that this man, this drunkard, alcoholic drunkard brought. So you've seen the picture. Okay. All right. The second picture, the second photo you shall see is this British poly, they call it poly. Yes. The British government made Nigerian schools. You know, British and Fulani, they are friends. They made Nigerian schools to buy and wear that poly. That's the picture. There, you can see poly. They made Nigerian schools to buy and wear poly to commemorate British Remembrance Day. To commemorate British Remembrance Day. I remember we will buy it, pin it in our uniform. We didn't know what the heck was going on. We did. If it is now, who go wear that poly? Me? We go pin up for uniform. We go to sell am, make our parents, people to be buying it. And when they see the poly, then go they buy. Commemorate British Remembrance Day. Yes, to commemorate British Remembrance Day. To remember British soldiers who fought and died in World War I. For British, not for Biafrans. They made us to be wearing poly that you saw the picture. They made us to buy and wear. The British government. Yes. Yet, the British that murdered over 3.5 million Biafran men, women, children, and unborn children, think that it has monopoly over Biafran Remembrance Day. The British think that they have monopoly over Biafran Remembrance Day, including the Biafran children who suffered from Kwashoko. Innocent Biafran children suffered from Kwashoko, caused by the war that the British fought for Gowon because of their friendship with Fulani, because the British are loyal to the friendship they have with the Fulani, the Emas. And the Biafrans have to suffer so much because of it. We Biafrans, we love our life and our freedom. Yes, we Biafrans, we love our life and our freedom. We love it. And that it should begin to sink. It should begin to sink. Yes, into the heads of Fulani, the one Nigerians and the British, that we Biafrans love our life and our freedom. This is not years past anymore. This is now. Our eyes, you see this, our eyes is open now. We know what's going on. And thanks to Nnamdi Kanu, who let us to know this. Yes, we thank him very dearly. Have we really asked ourselves, why is it that anything that is British or Fulani is favorable to one Nigerianist? One Nigerianist, I'm asking you, why is it that anything that is British and Fulani is favorable to you, one Nigerianist, and anything Biafra is not? You know, there is a saying that a prophet is of no value in his own territory. And the one Nigerians are pure example of that saying, that a prophet is of no value in his own environment. One Nigerian will not be example of it. Will not be example of it. Yes. Yes. No one has the monopoly of any person's life. I repeat, no one has the monopoly of any person's life. That is what one Nigerianist has done. They have made the British and the Fulani to think that they have the monopoly of Biafran life. That's what you one Nigerianists are doing, and that's what you have done. You have made the British to think and the Fulani to think that they have the monopoly of Biafran life. No. Hell no. Hell no. No one has the monopoly of anybody's life but God. But God that we serve. God that we believe in. No one born of a woman, no one when they carry for belly for 9 months, there is no human being in this world that was not carried in the womb. Yeah. So you are born of a woman, poor, rich, or whatever. Now the same way we all came into this world. No one has the monopoly or over anybody's life but God. Yes. I have 4 videos to show you today. 4. The first video is Stanley Enekwe, who who was executed during the Gowon regime. He was a Biafran soldier. He returned back from the war he thought was ended. He returned from the Biafran war he thought was ended. Let's watch the video and hear what happened that made Stanley Enekwe to be executed by firing squad. Let's watch the video and hear what happened. Gowon, this same Gowon who breached Abure Accord. Let's hear, people. Let's hear. Let's watch the video together.
This picture always brings tears to my eyes anytime I see it. What you see here is a very emotional moment. Let me tell you the story behind this picture. The guy you see in this picture, his name is Stanley Enekwe. And this picture was taken moments before his execution in 1972 during the regime of General Yakubu Gowon. Enekwe was said to be an ex-soldier of the Biafran army. He came back home after the Nigerian Civil War with one of the official vehicles belonging to the Nigerian army, which he was later accused of stealing. He was later convicted of armed robbery, and he was to be shot dead in Ajali, near Oka, at the then East Center State, now Anambra State. But before his execution, something spectacular happened. In those days, families and relatives usually avoid the scene of public execution because they believe that the accused person had brought shame and disgrace upon the entire family. But that was not the case with Stanley Enekwe's father. This man was not only at the execution ground, but he was there with his son to the very last moment. As you can see in the picture, he is mopping off the sweat on his son's face and giving him words of encouragement. An unconditional love from a father. He murmured to his son and said, "Fear not, the Lord is waiting to receive you." That was his last word to his son before he was executed. Although many of his villagers trooped out to proclaim his innocence, but unfortunately, it did not stop the execution.
You have seen the video. Very touchy indeed. Very, very touchy. The video you just watched show that the war never ended. The war never ended. We have always been in the war. It never ended. Yes. He was murdered. He came back, you heard. He came back. He came back with a vehicle that belonged to, they said belonged to the Nigerian government. He came back. This is why, this is what he was, Gowon ordered him to be executed in the public. by firing squad. And his father was bold, courageous. He stepped forward to wipe sweat away from his son's face and prayed for him before he was executed. Over vehicle. Where is the vehicle now? Go ask Gowon, ask Nine, ask Fulani, ask Britain. Where is the vehicle that they murdered because of it? Enekwe was murdered. Where the vehicle now? He was murdered because he was a Biafran. That's it. If he were Fulani, they're not going to do anything with him. They're going to leave him alone. They're going to say, let him go now. I may come up for a vehicle. He came with the vehicle. He came with the vehicle and he was charged. He thought the war had ended. All this, Britain is sweeping them under the rug because it doesn't want people to see the atrocities that they have committed against us Biafrans. Okay. All right. So it was very touchy. You know, it's good that these things are coming out and people are beginning to see one Nigerianist. These things are beginning to come out. Okay. The second video is by the legal team of Onyendo, the Ohamadike one, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, MNK. Let's hear what they have to say of the dirty politics that Mrs. Binta Nyako, the judge, who is a Fulani, by the way, her husband is Fulani, her son is Fulani, the late Buhari, who assigned our leader case to her, is Fulani. So, let's watch the video. It is about 18 minutes. The video is about 18 minutes. Let's watch it.
I want the world to know that Nnamdi Kanu is not facing any prosecution. Nnamdi Kanu is facing persecution. Persecution in the sense that since the history of law in Nigeria, it's well established that Nnamdi Kanu is the only defendant in the history of law in Nigeria that does not have adequate time and facility as provided by Section 36 of the Constitution, which gave an accused person a right to have adequate time and facility to defend himself. What do I mean? You recall that some time ago, as his lawyer, when I went to have a discussion with him at the DSSS, my right was violated, I was intimidated, I was stripped to half naked there in DSSS. I rushed back to the Federal High Court and laid my complaint through originating processes. And after looking at all that happened, the court said yes, Nnamdi Kanu's rights was violated, granted all my reliefs, and directed the DSSS to apologize to us and stop intimidating us, and to pay me 5 million naira. That particular judgment was not appealed against. That particular judgment is still subsisting and valid. Now, we took the same application to the same Federal High Court, stating the reasons why Nnamdi Kanu should be taken away from DSSS. DSSS is a prosecution. You don't need to have a law degree for you to know that you can never be a judge in your own case. The principle of nemo judice casus. You can never be a judge in your own case. Anytime we went to DSSS to have a discussion with our client Nnamdi Kanu, the DSSS will set up gadgets, send the officials to come and monitor what we are saying. Right from the gate, they will search us. Whatever documents that the confidential documents that I'm going with to discuss with my client, they will collect it, take it to the legal department. The legal department will read it, photocopy it, before they will hand it over to us. Whatever minutes I collected from Nnamdi Kanu, as I'm coming out, they will collect it from me and snap it. So, in other words, there is no defense. And we have pleaded time without number that please, if you don't want to release him on bail, send him to Kuje Correctional Center. These are the people that we are trained on how to keep a suspect that is facing trial, and we call them awaiting trial suspects. If you go there, they apply professionalism. They will give you all the necessary materials, provide a secluded place for you to have a discussion with your client. Even those that have been accused of treasonable felony, those that are accused of terrorism, they never treated them like this. Not to talk about a freedom fighter, somebody that is fighting a just cause. Now we approach the same Federal High Court. The same Federal High Court refused to hear our application. I am talking about Honorable Justice Minta Nyako. Several applications has been made. In fact, one of them, he said that I'm not going to hear what happened in the other court. He said it. Now, on the last adjourned date, we are crying. Look at our predicaments. Somebody that is going to face the trial, we're about to commence trial in line with the Supreme Court judgment. Can you direct these people? Can you direct that Nnamdi Kanu should be transferred to Kuje prison? He refused. She refused. She refused only to tell us that there is no security in Kuje prison, quoting the judge. You pressmen were there on that day. Now, you are now telling us that if Nnamdi Kanu is convicted for whatever charge you have, is he going to serve the prison term at DSSS? The answer is no. Now, what it means is that they kept Nnamdi Kanu there so that Nnamdi Kanu will not have a very fortified defense. This thing you must let the world know, because I saw one person, though I don't want to call him a journalist, because I know those who are journalists. He wrote in social media that Nnamdi Kanu don't want to face trial. These are our challenges. That one is on that. Remember that the Supreme Court also said, after admonishing the judge, I don't want to use the word after insulting the judge. I don't want to use it. I prefer to use the word after admonishing the judge. Say that the judge ought not have revoked his bail. And in the first instance, in other words, impliedly, Supreme Court has reinstated that bail and asked the court to make the pronouncement. But that is where I have an issue, because you don't destroy our jurisprudence because of Nnamdi Kanu. Without Nnamdi Kanu, there must be Nigeria. With or without Nnamdi Kanu. So you don't, whatever thing that we are stating today is going to be a precedent. Now the question there is that what stops Supreme Court judges from exercising their power under Section 6 that gives them unlimited power to reinstate that bail? They referred us to Federal High Court. Now we went to Federal High Court as a surplusage to apply for the bail. The bail was rejected. Now we have now made fresh application asking the court to comply with the Supreme Court. Remember that time when I addressed you people, I told you that what happened in that court that day is an act of Federal High Court setting aside the judgment of the Supreme Court. You don't do it in our own judicial jurisprudence. Now, we have applied. We brought 2 applications now. Either you reinstate that his bail, take him to Kuje prison, or send him to a private house for house arrest. You can take him to Abia State Government House. You can take him to Abia State Liaison Office. You can take him to Imo State Government House. You can take him to Imo State Liaison Office. If you feel that it is even comfortable for you, Mr. Madam George, please, you can send him to your house so that you will be sure what we are talking about. Personally, and I have said it, and I have told Nnamdi Kanu, for the fact that you will be here, I have not prepared you for this trial. I, Maxwell Opera, will not come to defend you. Because I don't defend people because I want to defend people. I defend people so as to get your own side of the story and advise you accordingly in line with the rules of my profession. I have not heard from Nnamdi Kanu. I have not advised him, and I want him to go and defend the first trial. First trial for what? So you people should. So what if the judge failed to reinstate his bail, send him to Kuje Correctional Center, send him to a private house for house arrest, then we are pulling out. You people should have it. We are not going to, so that not when we pull out on that day, you say that we abandon Nnamdi Kanu in court. No. Because the question my colleagues, everybody will ask me, when you are having these challenges, why do you still go ahead? It's just like where you are traveling, and they told you that their armed robbers are on the road, kidnappers are on the road. Instead of you to withdraw and probably suspend that travel, you continued. And when you died, everybody will blame you. That one is on that. Now, on the proscription of IPOB, I want to also use this medium to correct you media people, because we will begin to take legal action against you people. When you call IPOB an outlawed or proscribed IPOB, IPOB's proscription is being challenged. And once it's being challenged, you dare not call IPOB a proscribed organization. I am also using the case of Nnamdi Kanu and federal government of Nigeria, because when Nnamdi Kanu was ordered for his release, nobody released him. Nobody released him. So federal government held on him until they filed their notice of appeal. So it's been challenged. And I also enjoy you people. We have been able to raise it in black and white for you people so that it will be easy for you. IPOB is an organization registered there in Germany, registered there in almost all the whole countries in Europe, in America, and Asia, with people that are responsible. I'm talking about professors, I'm talking about reverend fathers, reverend pastors, I'm talking about captain of industries that are members. And IPOB has its own aims and objective. It's in black and white. What they are looking for is there. IPOB paid their dues. IPOB, they have their meetings. Anytime they are going to have their meetings in all these countries, they normally apply, and federal government normally provides security for them, and they have their minutes. So that some persons are using the name of IPOB to commit crime, to commit terrorism, does not mean that IPOB is a terrorist organization. What do I mean? I'm a member of Nigerian Bar Association. If I use the name of Nigerian Bar Association to go and commit act of terrorism, that does not make Nigerian Bar Association a terrorist organization. In fact, for your information, if the NBA president, Mekau, who is the NBA president, #1 lawyer in Nigeria, use the name of our organization to go and commit a terrorism organization, that does not make NBA a terrorist organization. What makes you a terrorist organization is your aims and objective. That you refuse to register IPOB in Nigeria because of their personal animosity is not a grant for you to look at an association that is registered in a country that is more responsible than this country, and you call it a terrorist organization. So you people have to be very careful, because those of them in diaspora that are members of IPOB, they may take you on that. Finally, when Outlaw, the immediate past president, came into power to destroy this country, of course everybody knew that Buhari never come to rule the country. He came to fight. And when Jonathan discovered that he came to fight, he left power for him, and he misused that power. He never obeyed God's orders. And we now take it from him that because of his mentality, because of his military background, now that we have a Democrat, I'm talking about President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who is a Democrat. I worked with him as a student during Nadeko, when my uncle, Professor Edward Oproji, was there. And we worked together. So we felt that as a Democrat he's supposed to reveal all the atrocities that is being committed by President Muhammad Buhari. Then, now, instead of him going by his renewed hope agenda to reveal all this, and said, no, when you are calling an organization that is not a terrorist organization in your country, you are destroying the country. And that was one of the worst acts and decisions taken by Buhari and the Attorney General of the Federation, Malami. The worst SAN I have ever seen in the whole world. Now, that you don't declare somebody, an organization in your own country, a terrorist organization, you are now impliedly telling people that you are a terrorist country, and the people should not come to invest. Nobody would like to come and invest in a terrorist country. If they ask you to go and invest in Afghanistan, you will not go. And they are simply because they want to clamp down IPOB. And the procedure for declaring an organization, terrorist organization, are being provided. You did not declare Mieti Allah, herdsmen. You did not declare them terrorists. See now, IPOB that you know that never carried arms. IPOB that know that they are following everything procedurally. You now declared. So it is not late. People have been asking, what is the president doing? Mr. President, of course, I never believed in your administration based on your antecedent in Lagos as a governor. That's why I work against you. I voted against you. If opportunity for that resurface, I will still work against you. But now, you still have an opportunity to amend your ways. Look at all those decisions President Buhari took in respect of this Nnamdi Kanu matter and IPOB matter. Look at a way you can apply political solution. Of course, if all those things that gave rise to this particular agitation is being addressed, I don't think that there will be need for agitation. But as we have been going about lopsided appointments, taking decisions as if you are God, it will not solve that particular issue. You arrested Nnamdi Kanu, and somebody is somewhere also agitating. I'm talking about Simon Eba. You have now declared him wanted. Have you arrested him? What did the Finnish government told you when you asked them to repatriate him? So these are the issues you need to cool down and seek advice. The people that meant well for you. Not all those people that are moving around you, trying to pick one or two things. It will help you. Now, having said that, we are calling you, gentlemen of the press, and ask the federal government to comply with the order, and we're also calling the judge. Many people have said it that your conduct in the court that day shows that the judgment, the ruling you gave that day is not from you. I'm talking about that half-page ruling. You gave that and dismissed all the whole applications. You should also reconsider the judicial first. You reconsider rule of law first, and for us to go forge ahead. Telling Mr. President, you have seen how somebody that was arrested, I'm talking about Wadume, was arrested and he was released. We are talking about to name them, Kabiru Soko them, name a lot of them that were released, not to talk about somebody that is fighting for the right of his people, simply because you feel that he's an Igbo and you think that you can intimidate him. No, nobody intimidates anybody. because after 8 years, after 4 years or 8 years, as the case may be, you will leave, another person will come. So try and do something so that you write your name in the Guinness Book of Record. Thank you, gentlemen.
Part of the story is that at the next adjourned date on 17th April, the cat cannot come before the horse. The horse must come before the cat. And what is the horse? Fair hearing. And the cat is the accelerated hearing. You cannot have any criminal trial without fair hearing. That is the point we are trying to make. And this message is being sent loud and clear to the Federal Republic of Nigeria and to the Nigerian judiciary. Thank you very much for coming, and you have a nice day.
You have seen the video and heard for yourself their message. Our leader is facing persecution, not prosecution. Persecution, that's what our leader is facing. Why should the British government and the Fulani think that they own the monopoly of our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu life? Because he's Biafran. Our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, is British citizen. He travels with his British passport. He had his passport with him, his British passport with him, when he was tortured and went through this whole, my God, oh Lord, beaten up in Kenya, East Africa. He had his British passport with him. He's a British citizen. And extradited back to Nigeria. He wasn't traveling with Nigerian passport. He had his British passport with him. My goodness. My goodness. 8 days. They thought he was dead. So they decided to extradite him, bring him back. I will keep repeating this many times. The British and the Fulani are friends. And the British is very loyal to the friendship it has with the Fulanis, the Emirs. Yes, it's very, pay attention to that. The British is very loyal. Yes. And Umaru Diko in 1984, July 1984. He is not a British citizen. He was an advisor or something like that to one of the presidents, I think Shagari or something like that. And they attempted to do the same thing to him, to Umaru Diko. He is a Fulani. He was a Fulani because he's dead now. He was a Fulani man, Umaru Diko. Somehow, it failed. It failed. The British came to his aid. He is not a British citizen, though this happened in UK. He's not a British citizen, Umaru Dikko, but he is a Fulani. He was a Fulani. He's Fulani, full-fledged. And remember, this friendship between Britain and British and Fulani is very significant. Very, very significant. But our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, is British citizen. He travels with his British passport. And the same situation happened to him in Kenya, East Africa. And his British passport is being withheld by the Nigerian government. Yes, his British passport is being withheld. So, our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, a British citizen, to go through this situation, traveling with his British passport, and extradited back to Nigeria. He didn't plan to go to Nigeria. But this thing that happened to him as a British citizen, we should ask ourselves question. Let's call a spade a spade. Let's call a spade a spade. Our leader committed no crime. We Biafrans, we value our life and our freedom. He committed no crime. So, Binta Yanko, she knows very well. Binta Yanko knows very well that there is no case against our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. No case. Binta Yanko, you know that. You know very well that there is no case against him. So why should our leader since July 2021 be in DSS custody, Binta Yanko? Why? Why should he be in the DSS custody? He does not belong there, Binta Yanko. You know very well that he committed no crime. Nothing. No crime, nothing against him. Why? Why is he there? Binta Yanko is there. No privacy. He has no privacy. His lawyers, they cannot see him. You all are monitoring that, and you call that no lawyer-client relationship in DSS custody. He's not supposed to be there. He's not supposed to be there. So, Binta Yanko, you can't hold our leader there. He has to be out of DSS custody. It doesn't belong there, no privacy. You want to do a trial, you can't do a trial. Lawyers have no privacy to sit with with his client. You all heard it in the video. So, we have to ask Britain, the British government. We want to ask the British government, what is the British government doing about this? Our leader, Nnamdi Kanu, is a British citizen, is your citizen, is a citizen of the Commonwealth. Why? What are you doing, Britain? The British, what are you doing about this matter? About our leader, Nnamdi Kanu, a British citizen, a legal British citizen. He committed no crime in the DSS custody in Nigeria. Why? Why? What are you doing about it? We are calling on the British government. We are calling on the British government. We are calling on the Buckingham Palace that your citizen, our leader, Nnamdi Kanu, a Biafran, in the DSS custody should not be there. He should be out. We want to hear from you, the British government. We want you to look into it. We want you to step into it. You helped. You did for Umaru Dikku what? The same fate. You helped him out. You came to the rescue of Umaru Dikku, who is not a British citizen, but he was a Fulani. But you are not doing anything about our leader who is there in DSS custody that he does not belong, and you are not doing anything about it. You will have to, please, you need to do something about it. So we appeal to British government, we appeal to King Charles, we appeal to Queen Camilla, we appeal to Harry, Prince Harry, we appeal to Prince William, Princess Kate. We appeal to all of you. Your citizen should not be in DSS custody. Our leader is your citizen, and he committed no crime. So you have to make sure he is removed from DSS custody. Nigerian government is holding his passport. They shouldn't do that. And what happened to him, he didn't deserve it. So, the third video and the fourth video is about Bruce Merrock, a 20-year-old Jewish American Columbia University student, New York, USA, set himself on fire at the vicinity facility property of the United Nations in New York on May 29, 1969, to protest the British genocide, atrocity killings of over 3.5 million Biafran men, women, children, and unborn children during the war that Gowon caused. let's watch first the video, and then the second video will follow. Very short videos. So let's watch the first video.
For 20-year-old Columbia University student named Bruce Mayrock of Westbury, New York, who on May 29, 1969, set himself on fire in front of the United Nations building in New York City to protest genocide in Biafra. He died the next day, May 30, 1969. He died for me. Like so many others. He was moved by distended abdomen of the children of Biafra. He climbed down his Ivy League chair into the Valley of the United Nations. Wrote on a large cardboard sign, "You must stop the genocide, please. To hear the cries of the little children of Biafra. If I were born months before. If I were weaned from my mother's breasts. I could've been one of those children whose pictures shamed the cover of Life. He didn't have to. And nobody is listening, even now." Rudolph Okonkwo is the author of This American Life's. Bruce Mayrock set himself on fire in front of the UN headquarters to protest genocide in Biafra.
You have watched the first video. Now, let's watch the second video, which is the fourth video. You've seen the video. You have seen the video. He set himself on fire. Bruce Mayrock. He died at the Uvell Hospital in New York on May 30th, 1969. He died to protest the killings, the genocide killings by the British of Biafrans. All because what is this for? What is this about? We Biafrans, God blessed us. God blessed us. And the British and Fulani, they also have their own too, you know. But you cannot come and begin to kill us, begin to suppress us, begin to commit all kinds of atrocity. Go and look at Biafra. All because of our... You will have to free Nnamdi Kanu. Free Nnamdi Kanu. He committed no crime. Let him go. Don't keep him in DSS custody. Free Nnamdi Kanu. Release him. Let him go. You, his mother, his parents, you people invaded his parents, and his parents died because of this. Biafrans have died. The killings continue. We want our freedom. Freedom is a right. Freedom is a right. Yes, freedom is a right. And we want our freedom. We deserve it. It's a right. We want it. Nnamdi Kanu committed no crime. He spoke for us Biafrans. He didn't just speak for himself. All of us Biafrans. He opened our eyes and we thank him. Yes, we thank him. Free Nnamdi Kanu. Free Nnamdi Kanu. Free Nnamdi Kanu. It is for the sake of all of us Biafrans that the contraption is keeping him in the DSS custody. He has done nothing wrong. His mind and our mind as Biafrans will not deteriorate. We call on the British government. We tell Brinta Yanko, she knows Nnamdi Kanu commit no crime. He doesn't belong to DSS custody. Stop the incarceration of Nnamdi Kanu. He is already cleared and acquitted. Allow him to go scot-free. Thanks for watching. See you next time on Anireju News. If you would like to donate to charity humanitarian, you can do so on my Cash App. Thank you.
Mete wa Biafra de no. Mete wa Biafra de no. Asina heri jibegi. Mete wa Biafra de no. Akane hiora.